career high passing yards for you, 6 touchdowns. That's pretty good senior day. Is that how you would have wanted to go out here at the stadium?
Absolutely. You know, you go out with a bang. Every game you try to do that, but the most important one is the last one inside the stadium. You show a team that's how we play when we get inside the stadium. So that's the legacy that I held, that I'm gonna hold on to. You know, leave it on to my guy Nico.
Austin? Jacob, you and I spoke earlier this week. You talked about just not being an overly emotional guy, but you could see the kind of the emotions coming out there at the end. When did it kind of hit you? What, you know, and kind of your overall thoughts last game and getting the end zone again?
Yeah, you know, I think I did a pretty good job kind of holding it together. I think pregame saw my mom and she was, you know, she was emotional. She was crying a little bit, so that kind of got me. But you know, held it in for the most part. And then just we got done with the alma mater and started walking back towards the field or towards the locker room and just see all the people that just mean a lot to me. Walking by him and walking by Joe, and just walking by a lot of people that have had a pretty big part in my development, but also just my enjoyment of this whole process and this whole last year. And so that's kind of definitely what got me. But you know, it's good to be emotional. I think you know, you let it out a little bit. It just shows that you care and that you know this really meant something to me and a lot of people around me. So yeah, it was great.
Dan and then Karthik?
Joe, what were the emotions of your senior day throughout the day, and what do you feel like you'll leave Neyland Stadium most remembering?
I kind of got mine out Friday, my throwing session here at the stadium before we played on Saturday. So just walking down by the tunnel by myself on Friday, I kind of started crying, but my coaches were in front of me, so I got to show that I'm tough, man, you know. So, but, you know, just playing inside the stadium for one last time, you know, it was amazing. I wish the guys that come up after us, you know, I wish they take it serious with us. You know, we left a legacy here that there's only one way we play when we get inside that stadium, and that's hard. There's only two things you can control, that's your effort and your attitude. So once you get inside that stadium and you put those jerseys on, that's what I hope you have.
Karthik?
Jacob, you've been here the longest out of the field, so I'll ask you, what kind of legacy do you feel like these seniors left here at the University of Tennessee?
I think, you know, this class kind of represents what it means to just have pride, right? I think that there was a lot of opportunities for people to jump ship, and people to leave, and people to, you know, chase other things, and that's great for those that did. But the ones that stuck around, especially the ones that are in their sixth year, like, you know, this is, you know, not to talk about the past, but this program has come a long way, and just the way we play the game has changed a lot since I've been here. And so that's something that I'm very proud of, to say that I had my hand in, and regardless of how many plays I made or you know how big of an impact I had, you know, off the field, I think that you know made a lot of change and really grew a lot.
We'll go David, Mike, and then Eric.
Jacob, you've been here 6 years. This is the first year you've had a 1,000-yard rusher. What does it mean as a?
Not me.
I was about to say, but God.
You don't throw me the ball enough for that, you know.
As a part of that, as a component to that, how much does it mean to the entire offense to have a 1,000-yard rusher?
Yeah, it's huge, man. And Jay Wright is, man, one of the most talented guys I've been around. Just his work ethic and the way that he's changed his body and just how he looks, he's a freak, man. And he's done a really good job. Offensive line's done a really good job. I think that, you know, just being real, something that doesn't necessarily get pointed out enough is kind of the work that McCallan and myself do. You know, whether it's just inserting or just cutting off the backside or just making things right when things kind of fall apart. That leads to a lot of those gains. And again, not saying that, you know, it's all me or whatever, but, you know, I'm proud of myself and of him and you know, of our backs as well for just, man, going out there and just competing every single week. And regardless of what's going on, regardless of injuries on the line or whatever it was, he would have competed, and we know he'd give us all for us.
Mike?
Yes. Joe, you referenced going out with a bang. Is that an important thing to you to kind of leave that mark and that stamp in your last game here?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like every other game that we had here, you know, we could have played harder. But this one especially, you know, you want to end the season correctly. And especially with the home state rivalry, you got to be able to just go and you got to be able to give your all for Tennessee, and that's what we did tonight.
Eric?
McCallan, kind of walk me through your touchdown reception and the throw from Joe.
I mean, it's a play we've had in for a couple weeks, and we've kind of been keeping it on the back end, kind of holding on to it, just sell it out and then get up. And the whole time we practice just it's going to be up and down, like that guy's going to be right on you. I'm going to throw it right on his head. And so they put a perfect ball, just had to make the catch, and the rest is history, touchdown.
So Ryan and then Austin.
For Joe, but feel free to weigh in with the tight ends. Is there something about this matchup that made the tight ends more of a factor in the passing game today?
Should I tell him?
Was it a concerted effort to get those guys the ball?
Nah, I ain't gonna do it like that. Nah, it was just cover 0, 4-3. Number 2 was I knew from the point, from the snap, from post snap and pre snap, I knew who had the tight end all week, and we had that same look. They did exactly what we thought they was gonna do, and when they gave me the go ahead to play that play, I was like, man, like there's only one spot I could put this ball. And then I looked at the tight end spot and I seen who it was. I was like, oh man, 2 got a hell of a night, man. So I just did my job, just do your job at a high level. That's all we pretty much asked for. And I did that, he did that, and the O-line played great tonight, man. I just gotta give a props to them.
Well, Casey, Paige, and then Wes.
McCallan, spending your last year here of eligibility, what has it meant to you, and what are you taking with you from this year?
I mean, yeah, obviously I wasn't here for the whole time, but I came here for the football, but I always remember it for the people. This has been the best college football experience I've ever been a part of. I mean, this is my best friend right here. I spend every day with him, just crying. But, I've never felt like I belong more in a college football space than I have here, and I've made multiple stops. So I think that just speaks to the culture that these guys have built here with Heupel, and it's a great place. Like, it's just Tennessee is where you want to be to play football.
Well spoken.
Paige.
Joe, you were responsible for 6 touchdowns tonight, first quarterback since I think 2009 to do that. What made you so effective on the field tonight?
These guys. Pretty much the whole offense, Joe can't be Joe without the other 10 guys, so whatever they do, how they do it, the preparation throughout the week, the film study, asking me questions throughout practice, just asking me how this ball is going to be up, how this ball is going to be, just all the small details, that's pretty much what we asked for. And, like I said, those 6 touchdowns wouldn't happen if the other 10 guys wasn't doing their job at a high level.
So Wes, Austin, Van, and we'll finish with Ryan.
Joe, with the offensive line this season, those guys have kind of been shuffling in and out. They've been really banged up. What can you say about those guys and just like who was available today, who could play? I mean, was it one of those deals where it's just like just had to find a way?
Champions always find a way. That's how I view life, man. Champions find a way. So, we didn't know what the week was going to hold. We didn't know who was going to play Sunday night. We didn't know who was going to be the starter for this Saturday. So, I mean, as an offense, you just got to go out there. Everybody should know the offense. I feel like if you play the whole season, everybody on the offense, no matter who you are, you should know the offense. So when your opportunities show up, you got to be able to show out. I feel like those 5 that was out there with me tonight, they played their heart out. They did all they can, what they was asked of, and then the guys around me, the running backs, the tight ends, the receivers, everybody else just did their job at a high level, man. That's all we pretty much asked for. That's what they did.
Jake, there's several guys that went through the team now for a long time that could come back, kind of like you did last year.
Yeah.
What advice would you give those guys that are thinking about, maybe, doing another tour?
Yeah, I think last year, same time senior night was the moment that I realized that I wasn't done right, that I wanted to come back. I think it was big for me because the emotions I felt tonight were a lot different than the emotions I felt last year. Just understanding that I could have came back and did come back, but I would just encourage them to listen to themselves. If they have a feeling or they have, like I said, emotions about it, listen to yourself, listen to your heart. And big thing for me, man, I prayed through it. It was really hard for me to, come to terms with what I felt like I was, thinking I needed to do. And I prayed my way through it and truthfully found so much peace and so much comfort in the decision. So I hope and pray that those guys will be able to do the same.
And then we'll finish with Ryan for this group.
Joe, how nice was it to get Ramel 2 touchdowns tonight and just in the regular season on a high note after it's been kind of a roller coaster for him, I guess, this year?
I wouldn't say he had a roller coaster. Just mistakes happen. It's life, man. Life is hard as it is. You never know what a guy's going through day in, day out. So I wouldn't say a roller coaster for him. Ramel's gonna be Ramel at the end of the day. And you see him tomorrow, he might not be smiling. So like he didn't score tonight. So Ramel's gonna be Ramel, man. Like I said, I wouldn't give it a roller coaster, but the opportunities that we had tonight as an offense, it showed that what could really went or what could really happen this year. But at the same time, we don't go back and say, shoulda, coulda, woulda, because if that was the case, then we would have did it already. So just building off of that, man, just keep going. We got one more as a team, as a unit. Just go put it together, make it happen.
Brian, last question.
Joe, you mentioned kind of being emotional leading up to today. What makes you feel that way, I guess, about Tennessee? And how would you look back on this experience overall? Because you kind of had to wait your turn a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know, man. My journey been shaky, man. 3 years at Michigan. First 2 years playing only 8 games, and then my junior year, COVID happened, 2020. You get to start and you get to play 3 games, and your second game of the season, you get hurt to an injury. So you just look back at those things, and to be honest, I just never gave myself the fruits of the labor. This is the longest season I've ever been in, and also just making it through. Also just being able to go game from game and flushing the last one. That's pretty much all you ask for. But I didn't do it alone. I had a whole bunch of guys behind me, and they was telling me all the right things. They kept me up. They made sure that I was smiling because everybody knew if I wasn't smiling, nobody else would smile. So they made sure I was smiling. Like these 2 guys, day in, day out, like they always said they had my back. So just to come out here and get those 2 guys a touchdown, man, I feel great. I feel awesome.
Thanks, guys. Hey, I gotta say something too. Dramatic, emotional, whatever, but like, thank you guys for everything you do. Not many people thank y'all for your time. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to kind of put my face out there and just kind of express who I am as a person. So yeah, a lot of y'all been with me for a long time, so I really appreciate it.
Well, if you're gonna do that, then I might as well.
Go ahead.
But no, serious note. Thank y'all. Nobody really knows how much work y'all put in, how long y'all stay up at night, man. It's truly an honor to be in front of you guys and get to ask questions from you guys, man. It's been a blessing. It's been a great 3 years. We got one more to do, so let's go have fun. So thank y'all.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Flatline. Last go around. You got a big smile after 2 touchdowns tonight on senior night?
Yeah, it's a good moment. Last time on D-Land, going out like that, so yeah.
Weston and Caleb.
Ramel, Heupel said that you were a little bit kind of banged up early in the season. You were fighting through some things, and obviously wasn't much reported about it. I mean, how tough were things for you? Was it just kind of nicks and bruises, or how'd you fight through it?
Yeah, I had I guess like a bone bruise in my foot, like after the first game. Then I kind of had to battle with that. And it kind of didn't really heal all the way until like maybe 3-4 weeks after that. Then, but I know when we got the bye week, everything kind of like got a little better. But it's just regular soreness and all that come with being a receiver, so it wasn't like that bad. But I was good enough to go. So.
Caleb.
Will, you had to step up due to some injuries in that secondary. Can you just talk about the mentality of the secondary and kind of battling through the end of the year?
Yeah, we just kind of had the next man up mentality. Everybody who was playing was ready to give their best for the game, and just everybody on the team really just had that same mentality of the next man up and just taking advantage of every opportunity you're given.
Ryan and David.
Aaron, what happened there in the second quarter that kind of caused tempers to flare for a while, and how did you guys kind of keep your composure coming out of that?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. All I know is just a bunch of chaos started going on, but I thought it was funny, but I felt like we regrouped well, and we stopped all that. So.
Aaron, as a follow-up to that, I mean, did y'all kind of realize, hey, if we do get ejected, we won't play in the first half of the bowl game? I mean, was that brought to y'all's attention that y'all might miss part of your last game?
Yeah, the coaches for sure was yelling that at us. And then we realized, we can't get kicked out, but it is what it is. We weren't trying to get kicked out, that's for sure.
I was just thinking, you have your Floridas and Alabamas of the world, but like, do you really think of Vanderbilt as like a really heated rival coming into rivalry week, or is it just like think of the other guys and then Vanderbilt? I don't really know.
You asked me that one?
Yeah.
Okay. I think they're a rival. They're in state. They're another SC school that's in our state, and I feel like we want to, we feel like we run this state, so we definitely want to, send that message out to them and put it that way for sure.
Patrick, and we talked to you and you seemed pretty even keel. Is it a problem for you to manage your emotions today? This is your last home game. Any of that? Seeing your family? Any of that? Was that hard?
Yeah, I feel like it was harder like during the week, like leading up to this point. But once we got to like ball walk and stuff, you know, I was in the moment. You know, I was embracing it, soaking it all in. So it wasn't too hard to keep my emotions. I feel like I did a good job. Like I said, leading up to this week, it was kind of tough for me.
Wes?
Well, what's it been like the past couple of weeks, kind of getting tossed out there into the fire a little bit? I know you've played some throughout your career, but to really kind of have this experience, what's it been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. Our coaches do a great job of preparing everybody for the opportunities and moments that could come their way. But I'm just trying to enjoy every moment of it.
Anything else for this group? Paige?
I guess maybe for any one of you guys, when you're on the sideline for the last time, whether the offensive defense was coming off, were you guys reflecting on anything in particular? What were you guys kind of thinking on the sideline as the clock was winding down?
You talking about like
Just like reflecting on your your career and then like the season you guys have had.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely was. Just talking with some of the guys on defense, just how far we came, the role we've been on, some of the guys I came in with, the bad times we had and the good times we had. So yeah, it was a little bit of reflecting going on for sure.
Caleb?
Ramel, the tight ends have been a lot more involved in the passing game this year compared to last. How does that make it? Does it change it at all for you at wide receiver? And then what can you just say about the veterans' performances?
It just makes us as a group better offensively, knowing that tight ends can step up and contribute in the passing game. We got good running backs too, so it just makes the offense more even. So you can't really focus on like one particular person. You can't focus on one receiver or one tight end or one running back. So it makes us good. It makes us all even.
Patrick?
Aaron, you kind of touched on your last answer. The guys before you were talking about the legacy you guys left. What do you hope your legacy is as a player, having, as you touched on, kind of helped Tennessee kind of get up and get going again?
Yeah, man. Just honestly, that I gave my all for Tennessee. That's what I would like it to be. And I wouldn't have no problem with being that. I gave my all for Tennessee, and I feel like I truly did that from the start to the last. I done that for sure.
Wes?
Ramel, what do you make of sort of this season overall? Obviously, y'all have gotten back to a place as a program where you don't go into a season saying, hey, we want to go 8-4, but things happen, lost a couple games, finished it better today in the regular season. What's this kind of journey been like the past few months?
It's been of course up and down, but we raised the expectation, the standard of this program, and I feel like us as a senior group, even last year we did a good job with that. So it's not like Tennessee is expecting to win 8 games. Even though it may be good for other schools and stuff like that, but we rose the standard. So our expectation is national championship, SEC championship. Even though we didn't get it this year, that's still the expectation. And I'm pretty sure next year they're gonna get it. So that's good.
Ryan?
Ramel, what did you think of Joe's performance today? Anything that stood out about why he was able to put up such big numbers with the offensive line banged up and so many injuries and everything?
Joe just went out and played confident. He played like himself. Even though he didn't always show